All right, let's stand for prayer and pledge, shall we please? All right, praise God, our Heavenly Father, as we come before you this morning, we want to thank you and praise you for all your many, many blessings in life. And Heavenly Father, I just ask for your presence to be here today to watch over us, Lord. Let us have a peaceful and a well productive meeting. Lord, we ask you to be with our first responders throughout the county. Lord, we have a lot of them, and we ask you to be with them and protect them and watch over them. Now, Heavenly Father, be with our employees at the courthouse. Be with them also, Lord, and just watch over them. And Heavenly Father, give us the knowledge and wisdom to make the best decisions for our county. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you may be seated. First thing I want to ask is, has everybody signed in? If you want to speak or something, okay, let me make sure that's it. All right, the three commissioners is present, Candace and Lauren, and I'll call this meeting to order. Do you have anything for the agenda, Lauren? Anything else?
No, we added the administrative action. We needed approval of the court security grant. I couldn't remember if you said it was for 2022 or 2023, but it's just some documentation for a prior grant, just need something.
Okay. Okay, so I hear a motion to
Oh.
approve.
And correspondence.
Oh, and the correspondence, yes, and I'll read it directly. There was a gentleman give me a letter, one read, so I'll read it here a little bit later. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, I approve that also. Okay, what we're going to do is start off first. We normally have, remarks first, but we want to get with the college first. So if you gentlemen, you're welcome to sit there. You can come up here and sit, but I'll let them present to you what their thoughts is on you guys come.
I'll come up there. Feel weird standing so far behind you. And Megan's trying to find her way in. I just don't know where she's at.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know, you guys, I don't know what all you guys have been filled in, what we're wanting to do. So one of the things that we was looking at was the use fee. Tucker County did a use fee, which they have a lot of tourism up with the ski slopes and resorts and stuff like that. Somebody brought it to our attention about possibly tagging on to the college. Yeah, of course, we was looking at tuition and a couple other things.
Dorm. Dorm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but I really, if we go with tuition, I was trying to get a number from Chris Hess. I was trying to get a number from her, how many Mineral County residents go to school there versus the ones that are out in that, or out of the county. And then we got talking about the dorms. So I thought it'd be better to possibly tack on an ambulance use fee on the dorms. And we've just kind of trying to get an idea of what kind of revenue that would generate. Again, this would be a use fee that we don't want to put a more burden on our taxpayers, but it would help out our ambulance service, get money for them, for those that come from out of town and could be possible users of the services. So I don't know if you guys have any idea what kind of numbers you're looking at, how many dorm rooms you rent out or how many people get dorms or how many people are out of the county or anything.
So it varies as enrollment varies. I think you said I had to introduce myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike Peters, Director of Facilities for Potomac State College.
Chad Barker, Director of Public Safety for Potomac State College.
Bill Douthit, Dean of Academic and Student Affairs at Potomac State.
And it varies. So we have occupancy for about 375 students who live on site, but that is not where we're at currently. So we, at the beginning of this semester or fall semester, we're
We're about 250 in fall, and we're around 200 or so right now.
Obviously, we'd like to be up in the 300 range, but it's
Yeah,
all variable based on enrollment.
okay. And what is your current enrollment total number?
Well, that's a tough. I mean, total enrollment's like over $1,300 students, but when you talk about students in on-campus programs, then probably somewhere around 750, 770
Is that your dorm room?
involved. No, that's just students.
The dorm is two months.
Dorms is somewhere between 200, 250,
Okay.
depending on the semester. Right now.
And as we try to look into this, like I said, Tucker County, of course, they have a really big tourism. They have a lot of people coming in. We just wanted to explore it. We just wanted to have a little meeting, get together with you guys. Of course, we had to do it as a work session and all three of us talked via see what kind of funds it would generate, but I was concerned looking at different things of that it would generate enough funds. That it would be worth tacking along, but that's something we need to consider and are looking into. We'd kind of like to hear what you all think about that, if there would be if you all would have an issue with it, if there would be a problem or something like that.
But now this is probably going to take a while to get all of this started because, and I'm not mentioning no counties, but we have one county in our state that has some court issues over this. So I was instructed by the auditor's office we can check into it, but we can't implement it until that case is solved.
Well, I think
We shouldn't implement it until that case is solved.
from the fee standpoint, colleges going up, affordability of colleges issue across the country. I think any additional fees to our students, depending what that would be, again, that makes it difficult for because a lot of our students, we're not looking at, exceptionally well-off students, put it that way. So a lot of our students, they have to have the most affordable opportunity for education out there. So if we have a lot of added fees, that all of a sudden takes them out of the game to be a college student and to be a college student with us. So again, it would have to depend on what kind of costs we're looking at and any additional fee structure we would have to implement to the student.
Okay. Okay, and like I said, I was this would be nice, especially if it was an issue like Tucker County, but, I just don't see the people coming into the county to be able to tack on a fee to really, generate the revenue. But we wanted to talk with you all about where you guys was at with enrollment and dorm room and that kind of stuff. You have,
You all guys obviously know there's fees tacked on the tuitions everywhere, so again, we don't want to tax the citizens of Mineral County on top of that, but let alone West Virginians on top of that, and so we just wanted to see the viability of, if it was possible, to, like Roger said, we're not 100% moving forward with it, we just wanted to get the bug in the air. See what we can look at as far as for our ambulance services go and kind of operate that off of a 9 ambulance bays and 14 units. They don't have much to operate with, so that's what we're just trying to figure out. And we want to work alongside you guys if this was to move forward.
Yeah, and if there are specific, we gave you the generality of the number of students in the dorms, but if you want specifics on, we can probably get the data on where they live, if they're,
okay,
the chances are, unless they're athletes, most Mineral County students are commuting.
Yeah.
Sometimes the northern end of the county may live on campus, especially if they're athletes, but now a lot of other West Virginia students obviously come to the dorms, but
I think,
students mostly commute.
Jason, did you say it one time, or Roger, you just gotta say that WVU, the athletes have to pay some kind of a fee?
Yeah.
At one, in Morgantown, they pay an athletic fee for each person who's in a sport somewhere or another on top of that.
but I don't believe you guys have very many athletes either, so. You got, what do you got, basketball and
Well,
baseball?
yeah, we've got quite a few sports, but, I don't know, I think, and I don't know in Morgantown if that's so that they have an ambulance presence at their athletic events.
Yeah, right.
You know, like high school football, there's
Yeah.
always an ambulance there, right? With the sports that we do, we don't have that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's part of how they're funding that or not.
Okay.
But, and the president is on his way to Charleston for WV Days tomorrow is why, he's not with us, but, anything we can take back to him and then obviously the bigger discussion, which is us. Any fee then has to go to WVU, has to go to the Board of Governors.
Yeah.
So it is a process, even if it is something that we decide to explore, so. Like you said,
Yeah.
it'll take a while.
And that's all we're doing here, just exploring,
Okay.
something for down the road, and, it would be a while before we could even try to implement anything. And it's just something we've seen somebody else do, and we're just trying to explore ways that possibly we could take advantage of that as well. I personally, and I'm only one vote here, I personally don't see where it's going to generate as much revenue. As could, that it's going to be even worth it, so.
Okay.
That's all I have. You guys have anything?
If you can get us the number of rooms, that would give us an idea. I mean, I am 100% opposed to bringing more burden onto our citizens, residents here in Mineral County. So we're kind of looking at ways that we can, because the way I look at this too is if an ambulance is called to Potomac State College for an out-of-county students, they're getting service also. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's a fair way to say that. I know cost of living is going up, and everything's going up, but I don't know, we're facing an issue right now with this, so.
So just out of curiosity then, Roger, do those students then get billed then for that EMS service?
Well, we hadn't really talked about how we was going to do that because we wanted to get your guys' opinion first. I don't know if they've talked about it or not. If you guys got a suggestion.
If it's happening now or not.
You're asking if it's current.
Yeah, if that's currently
So
happening.
you're basically asking if a student needs an ambulance
Yeah.
now, if they get billed.
Yes.
So
That's
the
what
way most of our county ambulances do it, I believe, I may be corrected, because there's people here that can answer that, but I believe they bill the person, if they have insurance, that gets paid. If there's anything the insurance doesn't cover, the person gets billed, but we don't aggressive bill and go after them or anything.
I misunderstood.
Per
your question.
Medicare law, we have to send them a bill.
Yeah, Craig said,
But we also do soft billing. Like I said, if they don't pay, we write it off.
yeah, okay, because they would know.
Thank you.
I misunderstood your
That's okay.
question. That's. apologize.
No problem.
I don't hear. the
Just
best.
curious.
You get old, you don't hear good, you know that?
Yeah.
So, okay, so you guys got any more questions for you?
I
You
don't.
can get that information to us, we can go from there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Megan, because I reached out to Megan and I appreciate your help on that.
Absolutely.
I really do. Thank you very much.
We'll just add, if you think of something else that the fee could possibly
Yeah.
want as opposed to the three things that they mentioned, that might work better.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Okay. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Appreciate
you,
it.
and thank you.
Thanks.
Be safe up
I'll see
there.
you.
Thank
you.
We'll see you. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Take care.
You're welcome.
So,
Thank you.
good to see you. Good to see you. Megan, you take care.
You guys.
Phil?
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
Put your name in the hat.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'll get it.
Court security grant document.
He's president.
If you want to go ahead and do the approval of the court security grant document before.
Yeah, if we can do that, and we'll get into this. Yeah, let's get this stuff done, and we'll, because I don't know how long this people want to talk.
Did you say it was 2023 or 2022 documents? It was 23.
Well, the grant period was 22 to 23, so
Okay,
7 months.
22, 23, okay,
So, but
I did put it.
fine. So, what would you say?
I just need a motion to approve and authorize the president to sign.
Just,
So it's yes.
oh, just,
Payment of expenditures.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the document and authorize the president to sign.
I second.
and then I approve that also. Now, I'll print my name and signature, and you want today's date on it, or?
Yes.
You see, advertise.
Will you have an hour after?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all we have to come before the commission today, other than the sheriff's report. Do you want to do that now? We'll take care of the sheriff first. Joel, discuss regarding 911 center.
I guess the sheriff's elected me to talk.
Oh, okay, right. You want to set up here, or are you good there?
I'm good here, okay here.
Good.
This has kind of been thrust upon us pretty quick. And to be honest with you, I'd like to know our roles or exactly what our role is going to be in this.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know, but there is 3 ladies here that might be able to answer that for us. I don't know if you can or not, because you guys know more about that up there than probably any of us.
We don't really know what they are intended to do either.
I mean, I
Guys,
went in up there and I told them that we are here to support them in any manner
Yeah.
whatsoever that we can do. And anything I can help them with,
Yes, I feel
they
the
can
same.
make a phone call, anything that JJ can help them with for the sheriff. All they need to do is make a call. There's a lot of projects that's going on, that's coming to fruition, from what I understand. So it's just, I mean, they know their jobs. I don't know, I know my job.
They do a very good job at what they do.
Yes, they do. And again, that's why I have told them countless number of times. I'm there to help them in any way possible. And I mean that genuinely, and that's what we'll do. Day-to-day operations, 911's gonna run. Jess is gonna have it. And the phones, as long as everything is up in place and running, all is good with the world. When something breaks, that's when it's gonna go sideways. So I mean, I don't know that system up there. I know people to call to fix it. And that's what I mean. If I can help them in any way, I will help them. You know, there's just a lot involved. I don't know if there's contracts with certain vendors. There's just a lot. And I don't want to step forward and I don't think the sheriff does either, to just go in there and say, this is what we're gonna do, this, because obviously we cannot do it that way. So basically, I'd like to know what my role and the captain's role is going to be in this.
Look, Joel, did you talk to Sandy Green much about this?
The 911 center, no.
Yes, sir. Sandy Green is He's, I think, is he over region three?
Liaison.
Huh?
Region.
It's a region 3 liaison.
Liaison. I knew he
Not
was
anything
region three, but I didn't know. But yeah, he was up there the other day when I was there and I talked to him some. And, I don't know if he'd be the man for you to talk to or not. What, yeah,
Go ahead.
go on, JJ.
So the 911 and OEMS is, or OES is not even our department.
I agree.
So the only thing I think we're asking for is you all said that we are now in charge. Well, what does that constitute? Because when it all runs off the rails, it's coming back on us and we don't even know what your intentions are.
Well, I want to clarify one thing. I did not put the sheriff over
Listen,
it. And
I'm just trying,
I
I'm
understand.
trying to
I
find out
understand.
what it
I
is
just
you're
want-
expecting us to do because we're as clueless as anybody else sitting here.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm not trying to pick a fight with anybody. I am here on behalf of my lieutenant and myself and my department to find out what is our responsibilities. Because we have gotten and again, no offense to the sheriff, but we was just told, they told me to run it. Well, there's a lot more involved than just saying it to make it so, and there's all these projects that they've got going on. And somebody's gonna have to tell us, because now I've got absolutely zero authority against anybody sitting in this room.
so. I know Joel was put on the spot last week at the meeting and I asked him specifically if he thought he could take care of running the 911 center temporarily. Till we got somebody else in there and he had agreed that he could. So my standard was that Joel or whoever he wanted to appoint would fill in for 911 director and OEM director until we got a replacement. And Candace is working on job description to get posted so that we can get that out there and look at hire somebody. If this project needs to be postponed or held off, then see if we can do that until a new
That's,
director.
again, so this is my feelings on it, is if you've decided that you're hiring somebody to fulfill these positions, because as I understand it, that decision hadn't been made the last time I talked to you, we're gonna see how it goes.
That was part of the motion last week.
Right. So, but if it's been decided that you're hiring somebody, and again, I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot, and I hope you know I will do anything to help any of us. But you've got people up there that know what they're supposed to be doing. And this is my personal opinion, is JJ Wingler, Merrill County citizen, not captain, because I did not get the opportunity to clear any of this with the sheriff. But in my personal opinion, they don't need us to stand there and tell them how to do their jobs.
I agree.
And so, I mean, if it's an interim thing, then you've already got supervisors, you need to be dealing with, again, that's just my opinion. And I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's where I'm at with it. Cause it does me no good. And again, it's just, we've had meetings with them. And it's just like, if Jess has a problem, she calls me, well, what am I supposed to tell her? I don't, if she doesn't know, then I certainly don't know. And I mean, like I said, I've been in this service for 27 years. Now I've got opinions on stuff for sure. But as far as what she's going to need, I can't help her. And with OEM, it's the same way. I mean, I know what they do to a degree, and I know who to call with the state, and those notifications was made. And to me, that's what they are more than capable of doing their job. And that's just my 2 cents. And if I'm out of line, you guys speak up, but that's where I'm at.
You're a concerned citizen.
And-
basically, is what
and I
you
mean-
said. Right.
And like I said, I'm also working, and I know I represent this department, but that's where I'm at with it. And especially if the decision, because that was one of the questions I wanted to know, has that decision been made? Are we hiring somebody or are we not? If you're hiring somebody, there is no point in us why do you want us involved for 2 weeks when you've got people up there that's capable of doing it?
Well, first it'll be more than 2 weeks, but second, it was just to oversee things and just,
And again, we'll do anything to help them, just like we've done. I've worked closely with Luke, I think. And me and him have certainly not always agreed, but I think everybody up there knows that the sheriff's office will go out of their way to help them do whatever they need to do. And we've done that for 20 years. And I mean, and that arrangement still stands as far as I'm concerned.
We did make the motion last week to post the job immediately, so she's been working on that as well. So Joel, talk to me a little bit about how you think that we should move forward. And that's a discussion we haven't had yet.
Can I ask what job you're posting? What are you posting for? Just a 911 director, an OEM, or someone like Luke's position for one person for both positions?
it would be just like it was.
Person for both positions.
Sounds like this wasn't very thought out very well.
So, you know, like I said, my opinion was just to oversee things. Not really to step in and rule or nothing, but, I trust everybody up there that they know how to run the place. Obviously, if there's a problem and things go sideways, like you talked about, we'll have to deal with it and we'll have to get some help from other people.
Well, and I'm good with that too. Again, JJ said it, and maybe I phrased it wrong, but I just wanted to know what your all's intentions for us was.
But yeah, that was my intention, was just to, you know, and if this project needs to be postponed, if we can postpone it, I know there was some contract and stuff signed, but if we can postpone that, then that would be fine.
It's not one project, it's 3 projects at several $100,000 in value that will have costs associated with moving the project online, just because all the contracts are signed, as you all.
Can we talk via Zoom? And you know who it is.
Excuse me?
I say, can we speak or ask questions via Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, my question is to the dispatchers that are there. I know we worked really hard over the years, the decades really, to get the Office of Emergency Services up to the standard that it is now. What is their suggestion on having 2 separate, like the 911 dispatcher, the head dispatcher be in charge of 911 and then a separate OEM? Nobody has asked the ladies that or men, I don't know who's up there nowadays, but nobody has asked them what they think. And as a point of correction, your motion did actually say until we decide what we're going to do. So the vagueness of this dismissal has been it's just eating at me, because you can't make a motion that is that vague. It was like, well, we'll give it to the sheriff. We may hire somebody. We're going to see how it works out. If there's a school shooting, I want to know that we have an OEM director in there that's going to do something, that knows what to do. If we have a flood, I want to know that we have those people in there that know what to do.
I feel confident we have the people up there that know what to do.
Who's in charge?
The sheriff,
Sheriff, you know how to run OES?
he can turn it over to the people that do.
Who's that?
It wouldn't be a matter of me being there dictating what they do every move. They know what to do. I've worked with most of these people for years. There are protocols and procedures that we do in those type of emergencies, and yes, I'm very confident that they know what to do.
Yes, I'm confident that they do as well. That's why I'm asking, like, why did nobody ask them what we should do in the interim instead of turning it over to the sheriff, who's, sorry, Joel, but you got enough on your plate, dude. You don't need this. So turn it over to the people that know what's going on. Hi, Roger.
I can't answer that question for you, Jennifer. I understand where you're coming from, completely understand. And you're not the only concerned citizen that we've had. I would like, my phone, I've been on my phone every day since this has happened. Phone calls from people out of our county. I went to church Sunday morning. I got confronted about this. Why did you allow this to happen? Well, first of all, I want to say one thing. I did not allow this to happen. It's 2 against 1, as the paper stated. But a gentleman got a hold of me and handed me a letter, and I want to read this letter because, and I think it's very good. It's very, very good. And this is the reason for this meeting today, simply because we met with Potomac State College about trying to raise money for our EMS service. And our EMS service is spending money like it grows on trees. I'm telling you.
I'm not
And
going to object to that. I've said that for decades.
Jason, I'm gonna ask Jason here how the budget is here in a minute. Let me read this letter first, because he has all the statistics on the budget and stuff, but I'm gonna read this letter. A number of years back, our county was in serious financial problem. It was a mess, he says. We had virtually no savings and owed hundreds of thousands of dollars to the regional jail authority. That hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'll never forget these numbers, was $962,000 is what they were. And Lauren told me and told all of us here not too long ago that we had to not pay some of the bills so we could pay the employees. Is that correct?
Back when we were short.
Back when I first come in, that's how bad it was. Our sheriff's department was undermanned and under-equipped, and thankful we finally were able to elect 3 who had no personal agenda and only wanted to see Mineral County move forward. Dr. Lecklatter, Jerry Wisner, and myself is mentioned in this letter. Not only took the bull by the horns and worked untold hours to address the above issues, but got Mineral County on a strong financial footing. And that is so true. And he says, I pray this continues. Some of the actions being taken by the present commission gives me grave concern in regards to what is happening with our EMS service. And now our 911 center, these actions are reflecting the actions that our neighboring counties, and he mentioned Hampshire County, took in the past and now have them facing a financial nightmare. I'm going to stop right there for a minute. I talked to the sheriff of Hampshire County last week one day. I can't remember what day it was. It's costing them $2 million a year. That's an estimate. He said around $2 million a year to run their EMF service. Now, I hope we don't get to that. I hope, pray we do not get to that. But a number of months ago, the commission decided for the county to take over the paramedic chase car that at the time was being operated by Valley Medical. We were assured it would save money. With the figures I have been given, considering all costs, especially buying necessary medical equipment for the unit, it will take years, if ever, to see any savings. That action was the first step that created the mess in our neighboring county. If our commissioners are trying to turn our EMS into a fully paid service and do away with the volunteers, please reconsider. And again, look what is happening in Hampshire County. Their county residents started out paying a small annual fee and now are being charged hundreds of dollars a year with a probable large increase shortly to cover their expenses. U.S. taxpayers, us taxpayers, especially the many like myself on fixed income, do not want to see this county head down a path that will lead to financial despair like we had in the past. I am fully aware of the problems with getting enough personnel for our volunteer EMS services companies. I believe there are take steps you can take to help them by providing incentive to increase the interest and get more volunteers involved instead of creating a huge financial drain and hardship on us taxpayers and voters. He says, continues, get a committee formed to look into what can be done to help, offset the volunteer problem, to help the volunteer problem. Another concern I have is to recent firing the 911 director. Luke McKenzie, I have quite a number of friends and contacts throughout the community and have not heard one complaint or problem with the operations of our 911 center. Never a word on the center not being fully manned. I'll get this right. It's kind of running together a little bit on me. Bear with me. Being fully manned around the clock. Compliments of calls, complaints of calls not getting through or the operator being untrained or unprofessional. The people we have at 911 Center, and I'm going to stop right there and add this, we have a great group of people. I hear no complaints from law enforcement, am I correct?
By and large, yeah.
That by and large, they do an extremely good job, and I want to recommend them and I want to acknowledge them on this. We have a great group of people up there. I myself have had to call numerous times, all non-emergency, thankfully, and have never had the smallest problem. I realize that he served at the discretion of the county commission, but there has to be some reason for this action, and none has been given. One rumor has it that it was because Mr. McKenzie fired a large number of employees over the first few years. If this is true, did he explain the reason for the firing?
Yes, he did.
Was he even asked? That job takes a special person who has to be intelligent, personable, understanding, and most of all, does not get rattled no matter what type of emergency help is needed. If the firing was because those employees did not possess those traits, he would only be doing his job. I would respectfully ask, along with many other county residents, that you please state publicly the reason to put this and other rumors to rest. And should the firing be justified and to avoid any type of impropriety, hold on a minute, I got a drink. I would suggest you appoint an unbiased committee to advertise the job and find a replacement soon. I apologize for not being able to be present today, but I was committed to, he's in Charleston over a meeting he had to go to, a legislative committee meeting today, and was impossible for him to attend both meetings. Norman Lonnie, Senior, who wrote out of New Creek. And so I'm going to go down the list here. And if anybody wants to speak, first of all, we have Eileen. Would you sign
I'd
up?
like to go later.
You like to go later? Okay.
Roger,
Yes, sir.
can I just say a couple things?
Yes,
about that?
sir.
First of all, county EMS costs the county commission $0 from their budget. $0. You guys, in your budget every year, EMS not a line item.
You're right.
Okay? The startup cost of that car was taken care of by the opiate money, am I correct? So that cost you $0. And from what I can understand from President Eames' authority, that we've saved almost $12,000 in payroll since the car's been there. And believe me, comparing Mineral County to Hampshire County is apples to oranges, 100%. Because the volunteers out here save the county, and $2 million is very, very light, probably about $5 million a year. You would have to, if the county would have to pay that, it would probably be around $5 million a year.
Well, here, since last Tuesday, I've been bombarded.
Oh, I'm sure, but I just wanted to clarify
And
a couple things.
I've done a little bit of research and I got the paperwork. Where are we at on our budget with the chase car? Are we right on target?
Currently, I believe we're right on target.
He believes we're on target. And what was the target? Approximately $120,000 a year is what I was told for all the chase cars. For the chase car, is what we pay Valley Medical, approximately $120 a year.
No, we pay $130,000 to $138,000 a year is what we paid out.
Okay, $130,000 to $38,000, let's say $140,000. We got it covered, okay? All right, now I've done a little research. Done a little bit of research on this, and I'm gonna give you people some figures that I can back up. First of all, we're way over the budget. You said and made the comment that, and you just made it, that we're pretty well with the budget. Okay, as of Sunday, is what my paper goes back to. Our startup cost so far this year has been $87,729.29. Now, we still owe 4 payments, $7,000 some dollars a piece for the heart monitor, which costs $31,000, which we owe you $31,395.72. Did we or did we not pay West Virginia University $96,000 so we could have our medical director on board? Yes, we did.
That has nothing to do with Chase.
Well, no, wait a minute, that's what we pay, that's what it's costing us. And here's-
the Chase call.
But it's costing us because of the Chase car. And now,
Yeah, she drives it.
what somebody
I
said,
did, she drives it.
exactly. Now, she's on it, she rides on it. Now, she does, I will say this, she does give our EMS service, she gives them good training. I'm gonna say that. I agree with that 100%. But, and then we pay her $10,000 a year to be our medical examiner here, and I agree with that, because we paid the others before. That wouldn't be fair not to give her a little bit.
But she also donated that back to the ambulance authority to start a training fund.
I don't know what she did with it. I don't know.
So there's, that's.
So up to this point, we got $225,000 invested in her. Now, so far, and this is not counting January, we got almost $50,000 in salaries. So you figure in 5 months, we got $50,000. So that's $10,000 a month. So that's $120,000. If you average it out over the year.
Yeah.
So we are way,
So you're gonna save $18,000 at the end of the year.
we're not gonna save nothing until we already got $225,000. And I don't understand where your
But
figures are.
You can't add in the startup cost, Roger, because next year they're not gonna have.
Well, let me ask you a question
You
there.
can't add in the medical director's buy down from the university because it has nothing to do with Chase.
Let me ask you a question. I wanna ask this question and I want an honest answer from everybody. When I built my house in 1976, I believe it was, we went down and I borrowed $18,000. Is all I had to borrow. Thank the good Lord for that. But I got more than $18,000 in it because I got startup costs in it. Do I not figure that? Do I not figure that? You got to figure that.
The first year, yes. But again, that did not cost
Well-
Mineral County Commission nor the ambulance authority
But it's coming. Why do you?
$0.
It's coming. Because why do you think we had a meeting with Potomac State College?
We don't have to buy a cardiac monitor again. We don't have to buy a ventilator again.
For a while.
We don't have to buy a new car for.
I know,
12 or
but now
6
listen
years.
to me, listen to me a minute. Why do you think we had them here today?
Because you need to look, hopefully to look to the future because
That's
Altair
exactly- you're
is dying.
correct.
Is dying and it has nothing to do with that Chase car.
Well, we
I
need to
think you're
look,
mixing things up a little
we
bit.
need to look at the future.
Absolutely.
I agree with you 110% there. However, if they can't come up with ways with us to raise money, ladies and gentlemen of Mineral County, be prepared. Because there's gonna have to be a fee implemented, just like Hampshire County. I don't know about the rest of you, I pay enough taxes. I pay almost $2,000 a year. That's enough. I don't want no more. And I know the people down at the north end of the county, they complained about their water bill and sewer bill going up down there. Well, what are you gonna do if you get $150, $200 fee put on your taxes every month because of decisions that the county made? I don't know. I do not know what the answer to this is, but I know it's going in the wrong direction, my opinion only. So, one of the things that I hate, and I hate this, Luke was lied to.
Yes.
He was lied to by this gentleman right here. Now, I know this is probably gonna make him mad, but I can prove it.
Have him read the text he sent to Luke.
Yes. He sent Luke a text when Luke said he couldn't be here that night and told him, Luke, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, and not to mention, that was our son's last soccer.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. He had intentions of going to his son's last soccer game and Jocelyn's birthday, correct?
Correct.
And he told him, don't worry about it, we'll deal with it at our next commission meeting on the 10th.
You sure did.
Well, I didn't know nothing about this till we went into executive session.
Nobody knew nothing, only them two did.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's correct.
And when we went into executive session, he kept staring at me and reading all the information. And I didn't know what was coming. And
Luke
we,
didn't either.
huh?
Luke didn't either.
No, I didn't know. I reckon Dutch and Jason knew.
And
I
I'm sure
can't
he didn't
answer that.
contact our
but he
parents
knew it was
after
coming.
the fact.
So anyway, that's all right, just calm. But anyway, we was advised to talk to Luke. It didn't happen. As soon as we come back out here, he made the motion, which he said we would deal with it on the 10th, which it's in writing. So he didn't tell the truth there. That's, well, you told me.
That's a lie.
Told him a lie.
That's a lie.
If you
Well,
would
you
change
changed
your
your
mind, you
mind.
should at least texted him.
But, and then anyway, another statement that come out in the paper that really disturbed me is when Dutch said, and I quote, I took this under consideration. Let me tell you something, you only had 5 seconds to take it under consideration because he made the motion and 5 or 6 seconds later, you seconded.
Yeah.
So that tells me that somebody had this planned
Yeah,
out.
that's right. Sounds like they went the meetings going behind your back.
Yes.
So I can't answer.
He revealed in the meeting that he was gonna make a motion.
No, he
In the
didn't.
in executive.
No,
meeting?
he did not, because the last time when I walked out, I can't get into everything that was said in an executive session.
You asked.
Now, wait a minute, don't interrupt, because I don't believe you what you say, because I'm sorry, when I've caught you in 2 lies now, and I don't want to hear it from you anymore. I don't want to hear what you've got to say right now. But when we walked out, I was under the impression that they was going to talk with Luke first, because that was mentioned in our executive session. That's all I'm getting into executive session. That was mentioned,
You asked.
and I can prove that.
You asked me what my intentions were, and I said, when we leave this meeting,
When I walked out of here, I did not know that was your intentions.
you asked me point blank.
And you even asked, it was, you threw it up to me that you never said nothing down at the Christmas dinner at the VFW we had, that you didn't say nothing about what happened at 911 center. Well, I got a witness that says you did.
What you're getting into now is all.
What I'm getting into, use your line.
our
That's
executive
exactly.
Session.
So I'm not paying attention here. Yes, sir, you had your hand.
May I have the floor for a second?
Yes, sir.
Last week's termination came out of absolutely nowhere. And I feel with 100% certainty, you guys are loving to use the line that our legal counsel told us to be quiet. I have worked with that legal counsel and she told you to be quiet because I guarantee you didn't consult with her prior to making the decision.
Absolutely.
The decision was not following appropriate rules, appropriate policies, or quite frankly, appropriate gentlemanlike conduct.
Yes.
You guys made that call the next day and Wendy said, yes, you better shut your mouths because none of that was done correctly. And you know what? Tell me if I'm wrong, but you guys aren't saying anything. What bothers me the most about this, when I called Dutch, because Jason won't even answer the phone. Dutch said, Luke, you're a smart man. We talked to you before and we feel like we talked about it enough. I've had one private conversation with each of you. The conversation with Jason, when I decided to step down as director, Jason got, he says 28 phone calls or 28 people complaining about my conduct, the way I run the 911 center. Now, mind you, that list wasn't about my conduct. It was about the conduct of my team. It was about our training, and it was about my lack of oversight when I was serving in a dual role for 5 years. Jason left that meeting that day saying, don't worry about this. This wouldn't lead to termination. I just had people leave my ministry because we weren't getting along. We had irreconcilable differences.
Yes.
In that meeting, you quoted the Gospel of Matthew several times, saying when we have problems, we need to walk it out. We need to follow Matthew 18 and reconcile just like the church. That was our last conversation. And I have text messages showing that I tried to follow up on that conversation with you to tell you the actions I was taking to correct the concerns you had.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, you never, ever bothered in the last 6 months, even though I've contacted you twice, to follow up on that conversation, to tell you the steps we were taking to make things right. And then you decide to terminate me based on one conversation that you would not even follow up with me on. Jessica, did you and I not talk about the conversation Jason and I had and put a plan together to address it? Some of those things you guys were concerned about was turnover. Do you know the last time someone left 911 was? It's been almost 9 months since we've had turnover in that building. Do you know when the last time we've had a complaint was? Since I've gone back into that building full time, I have taken my role extremely seriously. And none of those things that were in that complaint list that you said didn't matter, that you said we were going to walk out in alignment with the gospel, that you said you have problems with people too. None of those, all of those things I have addressed, I have taken steps to do, and you didn't even care to follow up on what the plan was to take care of it. But you're so passionate about it that you'll terminate me for it. Dutch, you sat in that chair and I sat right there, and we had a 3-minute conversation before there was a car wreck out front, and we walked outside to direct traffic. That conversation was so important to you that you never, ever brought it up again. And you said, we'll let you run it. Well, you continue to do what you do and get it corrected.
Yep.
And I have been correcting it. And the fact that anybody is willing to come here after you all fired me with no real justification, no follow-up, certainly not following the Gospel of Matthew and reconciling of the church. So don't ever quote the gospel to me again. And these people are here to stand up for me, and you want to talk about character, and you want to talk about concerns, and you want to talk about how things are managed. That is not how we manage things. I gave 9 years and 3 months to this county to be terminated while I'm on the soccer field with my son. There was no respect given. And the fact that I answered this phone when you called while I was playing soccer with my son's team in his last game shows something about the dedication I've had to this place over the last 9 years. I answered your call. You didn't deserve the answer, but I answered the call and I took it. And you all didn't even have the guts to wait till the next meeting. I asked you. I talked to you on the phone and text message twice asking if this meeting was important enough for me to be present at. No, it's not important enough. Commissioner, I'm sorry, but your word means absolutely nothing. And everyone needs to keep that in mind. Because when you tell me you're going to walk things out in a gospel life as a minister, and then you fire me after you say that this discipline didn't even matter, you have lost every bit of respect I've ever had.
Yes.
And thanks.
Okay,
Well, first I'd like to know I just got a phone call this morning. Dutch, and evidently there's been a lot of secret meetings going on at the other end of the county with Turbos and Lauren. There's people that has seen you on meeting.
Yes.
Who do you have planned to move into the 911? Someone that's gonna let Turbos take over the 911? Yeah, you do. You got a couple names.
no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Okay, all right, well, I don't know. I can't answer that.
You know,
Oh, you
after
think
a
it's
few
fine?
days after he fired my husband and left us and our 6 kids to fend for it, then you have the nerve to put that you're running rounds of delegates because you know you did wrong.
That's right.
And then you want to put my husband's name
And
in the first of your little paragraph?
the only reason he's laughing because he's nervous.
Comment on Facebook, you should be commenting on any post.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
In fact, that the people of Facebook, there have been two people that have agreed with you. And both of those people, I can show you the documentation of why happened, what
And
happened.
then one of them,
And
you
please
said
don't.
it was okay, just to let you all know.
Determination was approved by you all. Everybody else on Facebook wants to know why you would terminate somebody without cause, and complete strangers are defending me.
Yes.
So you know what? I don't need this job. I'll figure things out. We'll be fine. But the cowardly actions you all took, you should be ashamed of, because at the very least, you could have faced me. You knew that was my son's last soccer game and my daughter's 13th birthday. And you chose to call me and fire me on the phone after 9 years with this county. You have no idea the number of hours I've worked, the number of hours that have gone into those projects, and you have no real contingency plan. Miss Dean was completely correct in the things she's saying, and the lack of planning shows your lack of caring for anybody other than your political futures.
Yeah.
You guys have approved over $500,000 in projects at the 911 center.
Yes.
Do you know who manages all projects at the 911 center? Me. You could have at least, if you wanted to fire me, you should have at least been intelligent enough to take some time to talk to me to figure out what the projects were and then fired me. But no, you chose to do it over the phone after you lied to me multiple times. You changed your mind. Well, I tell you what, Jason, you should be real proud of yourself, because I would have came to that meeting had I known my job been on the line. Because 9 years, I'm the sole breadwinner in a house of 8 people, and I get fired without even being disciplined. You guys should be extremely proud of yourselves.
So now, when you say you guys, please don't include me.
No, you're not included.
Okay, thank you. Now, I want to ask you one, no, Luke, I want to ask you one question. Have you ever been disciplined in any way, shape, or form?
No.
The 2 conversations that I just told everybody about are the only conversations I've ever had that have any negative connotation. And Mr. Whitlock's conversation ended in, we aren't going to fire you, this doesn't matter. I've had the same problems in my ministry, and that was about the time you had to close your school because your staff was leaving you.
Wonder why.
And I would never have disclosed any of that information, because you know what? We all have trouble. We all have bad times, but you have disappointed me beyond belief.
Okay. Who wants, and I'm going to add one thing, if I may. Chastity, you're here today, and you're supposed to be working, correct?
Correct.
But there was a young lady up there that wanted her to speak so bad that she came in on her own time without pay, am I correct? You correct me if I'm wrong, and filling her spot for her so she could come down here and speak.
I have to stop that. We can't, not that this is relevant right now, but that can't happen. So she'll have to be paid. I apologize for interrupting, but we have to pay. That can't happen, okay? So I'm gonna make note of it and make sure that the pay is there.
But
Okay.
my point of that was, this is how much they care. My whole point. And so I'm gonna ask one of you 3, yes, sir.
Joel said when I left, the only thing he could compare what was happening in that building to was a funeral. Every single one of my team members, with the exception of 2, have reached out to me to tell me they love me, they care about me, and they can't believe you all could make that decision. And I would be happy to show you those messages. For you all to think that I've ruined that center's culture, everything that's happened in that building, we've built as a team. And those people love me and can't believe you make a decision. And you know what? They can't believe even more. You've never bothered to talk to any of them. The squeaky wheel, the one that's.
How many times have you went and talked to them now? Since
Since
it's
this
just happened.
just the one day I went up,
Was you in with the dispatcher?
Speak with dispatch at all.
I went to,
You went to Eileen, so you didn't go and talk to dispatcher?
didn't go and talk to
Okay, how many times?
Just,
I went for one time, I went in and talked to Eileen, and you came in and attacked me and made her feel so uncomfortable that I left.
and Jeff,
Will say that I've been a dispatcher for 12 years. I've been a dispatcher for 12 years. 9 of those years I spent under the direction of Luke. It is no surprise, Luke and I have butted heads many times throughout my career. many times. I mean, when Luke came in, he had a vision bigger than I could even see for our center. And we butted heads over it because Luke didn't know how to do my job. Quite frankly, he didn't know how to do my job. He was trying to tell me how to do my job when he didn't know how to do my job. And it didn't go over very well, but guess what? Luke learned how to do my job. He did. He learned how to do my job. He went through the proper training and he put it on a headset and he became a dispatcher and he became one of us and he learned how to do our job. You can't just throw somebody in our center that doesn't know what they're doing and expect to lead us. You guys never once came in and spoke to us. You guys never once came in to ask how we were doing, to offer your support, to see if there was anything that we needed. You never once came in and asked if there was any of us that have been there for 12 years that can lead our center. We have Jess that has been there, that is an operations management, that literally worked hand in hand with Luke that leads our center. You never once asked if she could have the ability to take over instead of Joel. No offense, Joel. Literally, no offense whatsoever. But you never once asked if she could fill that role. Nothing. I bet you guys didn't even know that before you fired him, he was filling in on console. And you guys literally put us in a pickle.
Actually, Friday night, Tuesday night when you fired him, he was supposed to work Friday night. So
he was supposed to work day
someone had
shift.
to take a vacation.
He was supposed to work day shift Thursday and night shift on Friday.
Yep.
And that's not because we're short-staffed, that's because people have lives.
Yep.
Jessica just had a grandbaby, and I wanted to make sure she was there for that, and we didn't want to pull other people in.
That's the kind of boss we have.
And not to mention Monday night, the night before you fired him, with a 2-hour notice, someone called off, surprise, and Luke went in and worked, and he worked 65, 70 hours that week. So, you know, God had this working out for us, but you all, oh, man, you got it coming.
And I'd like to make one thing clear. I don't recall every little word was said, but I basically told him in front of Eileen to be prepared because it's coming. It's coming.
But my
Be
thing is,
prepared. I
you
didn't.
guys aren't always gonna get along. You're not gonna get
No.
along with your bosses. You're not always gonna get along with your employees. He wasn't given the chance to right his wrongs.
No, he wasn't.
If I make a mistake, Luke brings it to my attention. I'm given that opportunity to right my wrongs. I spent in that last 9 years watching this man grow and change and mature before my eyes. That same Luke that walked into the 911 center 9 years ago is not the same Luke that stands before you today. He has matured. He has changed. He can change. I've seen it. I've changed because of Luke. I can make changes in myself. He's pushed me to make those changes. But if you just take somebody and throw them in there that doesn't know what they're doing, it's not going to work.
All I have to say, I guess you better learn how to be a dispatcher and get your headset ready, because we're going to need help.
And all of those people that you had on your list, now mind you wouldn't share names with me, I get it, but I could have shared personnel files with him. And he would have seen that anybody we've ever terminated in 911 has at the very least had a performance improvement plan with regular check-ins, with regular training, retraining. We give people way more time than what benefits our center. But every single person I've ever terminated from that building has had a fair shot to get it together.
I can attest to that because I've been in Luke's office fairly recently because I do help train new employees. I've been in Luke's office fairly recently on the verge of tears because I absolutely was on the verge of a breakdown because of all the stress of trying to make it work with a trainee that absolutely could not get it.
And
You guys do not understand.
And that's not our
dispatch.
fault.
You guys don't understand dispatch. I think if you would come to our center and set for a couple rotations and actually learn and understand dispatch, you would understand why our turnover rate is so high. It's not like hiring somebody to work at McDonald's or hiring somebody to work at Walmart. If we mess up in our field, it's somebody's life, it's our officers' lives. We take our jobs very seriously and the weight of our jobs weighs heavily on us.
Yes.
You cannot take somebody walking off the street and throw them in dispatch. And they may make it through their training for the first couple of 3 months, first couple of 6 months, but as soon as you throw them in a position and they start taking a lot of calls, they can go south fast, very fast. I've done this for 12 years. I've been in this position long enough to see how fast a trainee can go downhill. Luke and Just both give them the support that they need. And sometimes you just don't get it. And sometimes people aren't built for this job. Our turnover rate has nothing to do with our management. And that is no fault of him, and that is no fault of her.
Absolutely.
Again, back to rectifying the issues that Commissioner Whitlock identified. Some of the people who got terminated felt like a PIP was a death sentence. Do you know that a full PIP policy has been written? All of our PIPs are now done with SMART goals and alignment, and that policy was going to be on the next commission agenda for approval. I've only been back at the 911 center for 3 months, and two of those months were holidays, and I was providing support to Candace as well. We were making improvements, and for you to just say, nothing changed, move on,
Now,
puts you in a lot of forethought.
correct me if I'm wrong. I want you to do that, but I remember back a few years ago where you had to let one individual go. And because of her unlawful activities, or shouldn't say her, but that person's family unlawful activities, and they said, was you contacted to let one person go for that reason?
Yes. I don't want to get into that in open
I
session,
don't
but
either.
I have a letter on file.
My
That's the
point-
reason I did that. It wasn't my decision.
But my point being is you was not behind every one of them 28. So, okay,
Frankly, it's a harsh environment to work in. It's
all right, Eileen, Jess, you guys wanna say something?
I have a letter to read. I wasn't sure I could read it. but
You
I
can read it, yes, go right ahead. They
Um,
need to hear it, people.
It's really to the community. I've talked to all the commissioners. They know how I feel. And, today I just want to take a moment to speak about Luke, who has made a lasting impact on this county. He was the former director of Office of Emergency Management and 911. 1 week ago today, Luke was unexpectedly terminated from his position, receiving the call while watching his son play soccer. No reason was given. During a declared state of emergency, Mineral County lost not only a dedicated leader, but also a man who cared deeply for this community and its people. When Luke was hired as director, our department was struggling, facing a deficit and significant debt. Through hard work, strategic planning, and strong fiscal leadership, Luke developed a sustainable budget, paid off our debts early, built a surplus. He ensured our staff received long overdue raises, helping make our workspace more competitive and a place people were proud to serve. Luke managed multiple grants that strengthened our emergency response capabilities, improved communications. He developed a strategic plan that brought us to the forefront of technology, eliminating wasteful spending while continuing to invest in our people. Under his leadership, we moved forward, always improving, always sending me to classes, and always preparing for the future. Personally, I lost more than a boss. I lost a mentor and a friend. Luke constantly pushing me to learn and grow and believe in what I could achieve. He never stopped encouraging his team to strive for more. His passion for progress was contagious. Whether it was upgrading systems, exploring new technology, or planning for the next challenge, his drive and innovation inspired all of us. Despite juggling countless projects, Luke gave his full heart to each one of them. He loved this county, this job, and every person he served, including this community. Leadership is never easy, and yet he faced every challenge with courage and conviction, always doing what he believed was right, even when it wasn't popular. He worked tirelessly to move the mission forward because he believed in the people of Mineral County and he believed in us. Beyond work, I lost a dear friend. Not really lost, he's just not right there with me anymore. Luke cared not just about his team members' performance, but about our families, our faith, our lives outside the office. We shared lunches filled with laughter, stories. To be clear, he doesn't eat lunch, but we have lunchtime. Filled with laughter, stories, and conversations about faith, family, and community. Over the years, I've watched him grow from a young, confident, maybe too confident sometimes, into a humble, understanding he doesn't know everything. And faith-driven leader who genuinely strives to do right by God, and those around him. Seeing Luke's family grow has been a joy for all of us, watching him become a husband and a father, very quickly. Adopting, growing, and loving his beautiful family has been one of the blessings of working beside him. And I will miss seeing his children's artwork in my little office, in his office, and the warmth of his family that they brought to our workplace during our dispatcher dinners, our family dinners.
More like chaos.
But we loved it. We loved it. Mineral County has not lost just a director, but a visionary leader, a mentor, a friend. Luke gave more than anyone could ever put into words. I could never put into words what he has done. Wherever life takes him next, that community will be incredibly fortunate. Because they won't just be getting a professional, they'll be getting a man with heart, integrity, and unwavering dedication. Thank you, Luke, for all you did for our center, our county, and for us. You left Mineral County better, way better than you found it. And that is a legacy that will last.
Yes. Eileen, I'd like to ask you one question, if you would, please. I'd like for you to share with everybody here what Sandy Green said about Mineral County.
Sandy Green is emergency management, our Region 3 liaison. When we recently went to Mineral County Day in the mid-June and January, we arranged our own meetings with some officials there that we could work together with for emergency management 911. Sandy Green, our region liaison, joined us in the meeting with the state officials. And he stated right there to Dr. Blackwood that he would put our team up against anyone. And that Luke is one of the best emergency managers in the state. And he actually called me yesterday and said I could quote him on that. And he said that at the state level in front of important people. He meant it. And I don't think we can replace Luke. I was gonna say this, but who's the lady that spoke earlier up there? Jennifer Dean. We're gonna do our very best. We are. The sheriff's department is gonna do their very best to support us. We're gonna lean a lot on them, but they're honest in saying they don't know they know the radio side of 911 because they're the other side of it. But policy side, they don't know. And as far as Office of Emergency Management, to be clear, is not the same as what Craig was talking about early with, and what you all were talking with Potomac State College. Office of Emergency Service, we work on preparedness, getting ready for floods and hazardous spills and mass incidents. That
the emergency response side of it is a minuscule part of what that office does.
Yes.
The actual emergency response, and Luke, me and you ain't always agreed eye to eye, but just so everybody knows, the emergency response side is covered. And we've got people, this county is blessed with people
Very blessed.
that can step in and take care of the responses. And that's what I told you guys up there the other night, like, the responses aren't the problem. It's everything else that goes into it that somebody's gonna have to take care of. And that's just kind of the thing. I don't know that anybody really understands. And again, this is just my 2 cents, and I've told Luke this directly through the years. He's doing too much. He's doing 2 or 3 people's jobs, and you can't do 2 or 3 people's jobs.
But he
And that's-
does
And
do
now
it.
we're saying, and
But he
again,
does.
I don't know what the intent of this meeting is today. I got my questions answered, but to turn around and put somebody else in that exact same position and say that you're setting them up to fail because you apparently have agreed that he was incapable of doing the job as you'd like to see it done, which is your prerogative, I suppose, but to turn around and do the exact same thing, I tell you right now, that makes absolutely no sense to me. And I do understand, Luke, what it's like, trying to run your department.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. It's easy to do it from that desk there.
Yeah.
When you don't even bother to talk to the actual teammates, you just listen to the squeaky wheels. But it's much harder to be on that side of it. It's much harder.
Feels to be.
For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week operation. Do you know how many days a week I'm up at 2 AM and I'm standing in that building? And do you know how many times I complain when I show up?
Actually, there was one incident that the dispatchers, there was a guy there, he was beating on the door, I can't remember his specifics. Luke, my husband of 6 kids, well, father of 6 kids, not husband, went up with his gun to make sure that his dispatchers were safe until law enforcement could get there. So you tell me that doesn't say something to you.
You all have no idea the commitment it takes. And what I'm most upset about, I realize that I don't get along with the 2 of you extremely well. I have a difficult personality. There's not a single person in this room that's going to argue that. I have a difficult personality. Yes. Come to Captain Wingler, the easiest man to get along with. I have a difficult personality, but your unwillingness to actually speak to my team, to actually understand my job, and your inability to put contingency plans in place, to speak to me, to put me on an appropriate plan, to fire me for personality differences in your positions is unacceptable. And honestly, what I'm saying right here is the 28 people Jason got the phone calls about in the 3-minute conversation you and I had are the only things I could even remotely think of that have anything to do with things.
Oh, no,
Although-
there are other people
Okay,
that,
would you please stop?
sorry.
Although Jason did say the meeting was going to be about 911 center, ... chase car.
Yeah, he changed his mind.
Yeah, so I don't know what that meant. But the only formal conversations I've ever had that weren't documented, that I was told didn't matter, are the only conversations I've ever had. And you all should want to do better for your county. The fact that people are sitting here and telling you that I do my job and do my job well says something. And it says something you're not willing to see because you don't care for my personality. And you know what? I am difficult to get along with, but we don't have to talk all that much.
Mr. President, Mr.
Commissioner.
President, I have some financial questions I'd like to ask.
Hey, Jen.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Jen, let me ask the commissioners a question real quick.
Okay.
Hey, my name is Jeremiah Arbogast. I've been brought into this in a different aspect, but I'm kind of got 2 things going on. I don't know Luke, but these secret meetings that are participating between the 2 commissioners, what I want to ask and request a clarification is these meetings involving a quorum of the commission, if there occurred outside proper notice sessions as per West Virginia Code 6.9A,
Yes.
if executive sessions have been held and they are properly noticed and limited strictly to permissible statutory purposes. So you guys having these secret meetings without the public is not in compliance with 6.9A. The second thing is the determination of the emergency management director, Luke. I guess that would be your position. So
Yes.
the emergency management in West Virginia operates under the West Virginia Code 1551 and the related provisions. Was the termination of Luke conducted in compliance with statutory authority and documented policy?
No.
Was there a written evaluation, cause of determination, or an executive session justification pursuant to 6(9)(a)? If not, his termination was done improperly and not according to West Virginia statute. So actually, I'm not an attorney, but I'm a licensed private investigator, and I will hold people accountable for this kind of shit. So this stuff of secret meetings, and I know the sheriff's department, they do their best and they put more work on the sheriff's department. When you have a man that I don't even know, that I hear all over the county, that does a fantastic job at that 911 center, and you guys, just because he doesn't get along with Commissioner Whitlock and Commissioner Staggs, well, Commissioner Staggs, there's a lot of allegations that people have come to me about that you have done that doesn't seem proper or ethical. So for you to talk about somebody else and sit up there on your high horse, I don't know you personally, but I know your name. And if I know your name and the job that I do privately, then something's not right. The other commissioner, Jason Whitlock, same thing. I've heard things about you. Again, we go back to the water department thing, where meeting minutes were approved and you literally call the water department and have them hurry up and change stuff, but we have the proof that the original documents were there. This stuff is improper, and what you guys think you're doing, you guys are going to be held accountable, because I have no problem writing letters to the Attorney General's office.
Thank you.
I have no problem writing my letters to the Department of Justice and having them come in and look at all your guys' stuff. This is just, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. We finally got a sheriff in this county who cares about the residents. We had Luke was at the 911 center, who was doing a damn good job from what I'm hearing. So I don't understand. You got two people. You got the sheriff running the sheriff's department like it should have been years ago, but we have had shit-ass sheriffs, and now we have a 911 director who loses his job because, I don't know, because you don't get along with the two of you. I don't even know you, and I don't like you too.
And that code that allows the executive session also gives me the right to choose whether that will happen in executive session or in an open session. None of which the discussion was not even, I was not even notified that the discussion would be occurring.
Yeah.
And it was put on the agenda late. I do want to mention that. And on the agenda.
The commissioners are just not following ethical standards governed by West Virginia Ethics Commission. And again, if I was Luke, I would seriously call the Attorney General's office, and I would write letters to the Ethics Commission and have you guys recalled and out of office, because it's not acceptable of these allegations of what they are. But now they're not turning into being allegations; they're turning into exactly what you're doing, and the public's seeing it. But I don't know if you guys get in these positions and then you think that, oh, well, guess what? Your head gets the size of two basketballs put together because you're a commissioner of the county. But you sit up there in those chairs, those cushiony chairs, while you have a sheriff and you have Luke was doing all the hard work. But you have no problem criticizing everybody else for stuff that you guys do behind closed doors.
Thank you, sir. I just want to say one thing. I don't always agree with Luke either. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't always agree with my wife, but we agree to disagree. And that's what it takes. Okay, that's what we need to work at. So, and I know you've heard different things, and I just want to bring one more thing up that I was approached with when I went to Fountains, your banquet this year. I was approached, why does the commission want to pull the ambulance out of Fountain? I said, what are you talking about? Well, apparently Dutch made a I don't know what it was, cause I wasn't familiar with it, but from what I've been told, they're wanted to pull Fountain's ambulance because they wasn't getting out enough. What? I'm just telling you what I was
They
told.
lied on you out there.
Huh?
They lied on Dutch Center, or did they change their?
They changed their mind. But, that's what I was told. I do not know. I do not know, but I was told that.
So the issue with the ambulance, and Kirk called me actually about that the rumor was going around. And the thing was, there was 1 month where Fountain didn't get the ambulance out. And Colby had called and said, I don't know what we're gonna do about it. And I'm like, I don't know either, but we do need to keep an ambulance there. But if it's not financially worthy, then we may have to do something, but that's something we'll have to address down the road. They have a bad month, they have a bad month. As far as,
Been meeting a good bit down together.
what's that?
You and Colby's been meeting a lot. Oh, yeah.
Me and Colby meet a lot.
Yeah, you've been meeting a lot.
So
You've
what's
just been
wrong
meeting a
with
lot.
talking to Colby? We talk, huh?
You.
And these meetings, I don't know what you're talking about, meetings with, that me and Jason have been having, but there hasn't been meetings.
Did you know that the firing was coming before we went in executive session?
No, I did not.
Oh, no, just Jason did it all on his.
But there's a, and I wanna show this, this is a Gideon Bible.
Yeah.
And I respect the Gideons very, very much. I support them. Lay your hand on there and tell the truth. You never had a meeting with Jason? Yeah,
I've never had a meeting with Jason.
you didn't know nothing about this.
I was thinking, I was doing my own investigation
You didn't answer the question.
on different things.
Yeah.
So you,
That had nothing to do with Jason.
because
And I didn't know some of the things Jason knew until we got that executive
I
session.
didn't know nothing. I was shocked. What about you,
Just
Jason?
because, the commissioner puts his hand on the Bible doesn't mean he's telling the truth.
About,
All right, Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
you recognize me for a minute. I do have three questions. Luke held two positions for 5 years. And I'm gonna say, nepotism aside, that was detrimental to the county. Because now you have Candace in there. Even if Candace needs help, who's she gonna call?
Yes.
So this is my thing on your personnel, in order so y'all don't get sued and don't sue the county. Do you have a written policy? Because this chatting and texting and having a 3-minute conversation, do you actually have a paper trail of either the complainants? Because even when you write a ethics commission, which I didn't know, when you write a complaint, you have to get it notarized so that they know it's being sent from who you think it's being sent from. So do we have that? And the other thing, Joel just left. Oh, there he is. This is directed towards Luke. These $500,000 in projects. Is any of that grant money?
No, it is 911 fee funds.
Okay. So if something goes wrong with that money, since the sheriff is now in charge, then it comes out of his budget.
no,
Who's responsible if something goes wrong?
It probably falls back on the commission if they don't have enough money to cover it. But, I will say this, Jennifer, to what you
have
said.
no paper trail. You have no paper trail. I don't know. I got out of EMS before Luke ever came on, but I know what kind of EMS directors we had before. So I know, and I spent time with, they invited me for a tour, and I think Marcia was in charge back then, and I was there for a shift. I never want to do that again. So you guys don't have a paper trail. This is my concern. Can you get rid of Candace tomorrow? You don't have a paper trail. And then what are we going to be stuck with? Who else can you get rid of like this? And the fact that you didn't talk to anybody and the fact that you don't have a paper trail, all you have is text messages and 3-minute conversations, it's not substantiation. You better have complaints, you better have written complaints, otherwise he's got a suit against the county.
Sure does.
He sure does.
Just to add to what you're saying there about, who else can they get rid of? I have been approached by a few, not a lot, but a few, employees of our county wanting to know, are they next?
Yes, exactly.
And I have been approached and I told them, you're not gonna be next on my behalf because we got good employees.
Although, like everybody knows, my PAP's only one vote. You got these two others that just.
So, but anyway, Jeremiah, thank you for the follow-up. I would encourage you to continue with your investigation and I thank you and I thank Jennifer for sharing, her thoughts. Anybody else? Yes,
I
sir.
didn't sign up to speak.
That's all right.
Planned on, but I've learned a tremendous amount of information here today. As far as things going on, I feel that the fire departments, the EMS departments is left out. Because this was a stunning blow to us. And it used to be, Roger can verify, back when everything started, fire departments had a lot to do with the 911 system. They was a lot on the interview panels, and all that. And I feel that you, the commissioners, should have gotten with some of the heads of all the fire departments in this county. If you had a problem with Luke, you should have talked to them, the ones that deals with it. If we deal with this 24 hours a day, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, where you all have no clue what's going on, what's, you know. And, you know, I feel that you all should have at least confronted some of the department heads, confidentiality on whatever problems you all had with him to see. And as far as this county, I'll tell you, there is a lot of backdoor meetings going on. There's a lot of stuff trying to be done, and I see it. I've been around a long time. I see it. I hear rumors and I see it, and y'all better be on your toes and watch what's going on.
Well, and I'll reiterate what he's just saying about being on your toes.
Yes,
This is the first commission meeting that I have sat in on, only because people have come to me and said the shady stuff that's been going on, and I've offered help to look into it. You know, I'm gonna let you two know right now, Mr. Staggs, Mr. Whitlock, I will file an ethics commission complaint against both of you. Because whether you, Commissioner Staggs, which you don't even deserve that title. So just because you swear on a Bible doesn't make you telling the truth. There's people across this country who swear on a Bible every day. And you've got people that will set up and quote the Bible, but be snakes behind people's backs. So swearing on the Bible does not mean nothing unless you actually live by it. For the two of you, I'll guarantee you that I'll be writing the Attorney General's office and the Ethics Commission on both of you. Luke, I don't know you, but I think you were wrongly terminated. You were without cause. You literally, you have to follow West Virginia Code 1551. And they did not have no documented policy. They have to have documented policy. And again, has to be written evaluation, cause determination. And if there was people complaining, you take those complaints and then you go to him and you try to fix the problem. I was in the military. I retired from the Marines. So if there was a problem within our unit, we didn't just fire, the CO just didn't just get fired because there was a problem. We came together, we found out what the problem was, found out where the problem was, and we fixed it. You just don't fire somebody, bring somebody in new and be like, oh, here you go. Then guess what? Then you try to put the burden on the sheriff, which I told you, we finally have a good sheriff in this county, and he's trying to take care of taxes, he's trying to take care of law enforcement, court security, all this stuff. And now you want to put more burden on the sheriff when you have a man right there who's dedicated his life to running the 911 center and being the emergency management. So, it's just a point that he was terminated without cause, either by both of you, 2-1, which, again, Mr. Whitlock, Mr. Staggs, I really don't believe either one of you. I think you're having backdoor meetings, and you can swear on Bibles all day long. It isn't going to make it true.
Yep.
Well, and I want to add that in 9 years and 3 months, you know how many performance evaluations I've had from the commission as someone who reported directly to them in what was previously 3 positions? I've had 1 performance evaluation. And do you know why that evaluation occurred? Because I literally brought it with me and begged the commission to give me feedback. The only negative feedback on that, I had a needs improvement on leadership, and I asked what I needed to do under that. And you know what they did? Absolutely no follow-up. Now that was previous to Jason, but Commissioner Staggs was here for that. Did I not ask for performance reviews?
You did.
And did I not even provide you all multiple templates from the International City County Management Association that's used nationwide. I did. If I had a work email, I'd show you that I sent them to you and said, please, I would love to have at least biannual or annual performance evaluation so I know where I stand with this commission and know what I can do to improve. But no, I've had no opportunities. I would argue that
If Luke's termination was done in an executive session, is what you call, you have to give proper notice, you have to have proper motion, and you have to have a public vote. No vote in secret is permitted. So I don't know what you two do, but to me, it's
Not done in secret, but
a big issue.
after executive session.
The vote was done here in the commission room, but he just made the statement that he told me he was gonna make the motion and executive session. I do not remember that. That's his words. I thought they were gonna talk to him.
Well, honestly, I think that man should, from what I'm hearing today, should get his job back. Why are you trying to burden the sheriff's department even more when they got to cover so much square miles in this county? Is beyond me. It's like you two we get a sheriff that's good, and now you're trying to set him up for failure. So, and then you're trying to set the 911 up for failure by trying to put somebody new in who don't even, maybe not even know they're, nothing.
And,
So
and
I don't know your point behind it or whatever, but that's just my opinion. And from what I'm hearing and what I'm putting together, it's just, it's tying back to you two. It's the strings are coming to you two.
and our sheriff's department is undermanned a little bit, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I think they're doing a great job covering. I think
They are doing a great job, but still, that's what I'm saying. To take a whole nother department and put it on to his plate, it's setting him up for failure.
Yeah, well, I want to say one thing and then I'm going to ask if anybody else wants to say anything. I remember 11 years ago when I come in here, the 911 center wasn't in the best financial shape. Am I correct?
We were in debt to the county and our building wasn't paid off.
That's it. The building wasn't paid off. They was in debt to the county for, I can't remember what all for, but I know a couple different things. But anyway, in the last 9 years since Luke has come in, we got everything paid off and we give our dispatchers, I think, pretty good raises. They deserve more.
$16,000 in
We
raises.
have
How much?
competitive-
$16,000 in raises
A person.
for within a 6-hour radius, because we just did a salary study. I know you guys don't care about what actually happens
I
there,
do.
how things run, but we just conducted a salary study because I do my homework and do documentation with my job. That's what I get paid to do to serve people. And within a 6-hour radius of Kaiser, West Virginia, of all of the 911 centers that serve between 25 and 50,000 people, would you believe we're the third? We are the third highest paid. We are exactly where we need to be. And our revenue has increased in 10 years. Because Commissioner Whitlock at some point said to me, basically, none of the financial sacrifices 911 made mattered. It was because our revenue increased. Now, there was no substantiation behind that. He had never asked anyone who mattered. I can tell you how far fewer people we operate with now and the sacrifices they make every day. Because we used to have 14 sitting dispatchers and we have 10 now. We used to have full-time mapping and we have a contractor. We have reduced our staffing. We have changed our spending so that we can stay within the lines. We paid off that $1.5 million facility 9 years early. 9 years early. We paid off the Patterson Creek Tower loan 15 years early. And our technology is better than it's ever been. That phone system that we were implementing, we were going to be the second implementation in the entire nation with one of the largest 911 CPE providers in North America.
And all of this.
We are on the cutting edge, and you all make a decision like that
Because you don't like Luke's personality.
without even counseling, without even improvement, without any thought. There was no forethought for the people of this county. I can guarantee I know who you were thinking about.
Yeah, there's two of them.
That's enough.
All right.
But all of this was done to help upgrade and protect the citizens of Mineral County and anybody that comes in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Please, Luke's heart is trying to do better so that
Does anyone else have anything to share? Yes, sir.
Okay, one thing I want to share.
Yeah.
Are you too happy? Are you happy?
Okay, all right, I'm sure. It would be reinstated into this job. Could you do this job without any converse with commissioners and still maintain and do your job the way you're supposed to?
I absolutely could.
So.
Now, I didn't catch all that, Eddie.
I just wanna know if he would be reinstated into his job, if he could work with you all and still do everything that he's been doing and keep things going the way it's supposed to go. He said,
Okay, I'm gonna step out on a limb here. Oh, I thought you had your hand up, Dave. I'm gonna step out on a limb here and I'm gonna make a motion. I move that we reinstate Luke if he'll accept it at the 911 director. So I'm not getting a second. Okay.
Can tell how open your ears are to the community and the feedback you're receiving on social media. You're confirming everything everybody said. That gentleman who's talking, the people in there who are talking, I don't know them. But they know my character, my personality, and know what I'm doing. And they're willing to speak out for me. I want to ask you, if something happens to you, will anyone speak out on your behalf? Because this today, 9.5 years of service, I told Ashton, it all felt like it was nothing, because you have no idea the number of hours I worked, the number of personal things I sacrificed for this job. And at first I felt like it meant nothing, but it obviously meant something. Not to you two, who are simply interested in serving yourselves. However, it meant something to this community, because the number of people that are here that are saying this, there's not a single person in this room that's in your corner right now. I think you should consider that. Sorry.
My question is that, okay, so the commissioner made a motion and you two sat there silent. So what does that just tell me? What does that tell anybody else in this county?
They don't care.
Everything that's being said about you two is most likely 99.9% true.
The only thing I'll say is that out of all the people that are here, probably 5 times as many has reached out to me.
Okay.
I'm sure, Commissioner Staggs, I'm sure they reach out to you. So again, you having backdoor meetings.
So where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at now if they reach out to you?
They reach out to you, but you know, you're running a business that, you know, people are coming to me now about some shady stuff that you're doing with your business and how you're ripping off your customers and all that type of stuff. So keep doing what you're doing, you know, because you can sit there and criticize everybody else and, you know, take some man's job that has children and then take that job and give it to the sheriff and overwhelm him to where he feels it's his job. But you two sat there quiet when you could reinstate this man. Who do you two have in?
Hold on. Yes, I'll get back to you. I'm sorry, Jeremiah, go on.
No, I was just asking. So no one seconded. So who do you two have in mind to put in that position? Or is it just you just gonna go ahead and say, you know, here, Joel, take care of this, and then expect him to do it? But then what are you going to do? You're going to criticize him if something goes wrong? I'm sure you are. You still ain't going to take the blame.
No, they got somebody in
3 days, Lord. No, we don't. Colby Sampson. I don't have anybody in mind. We'll wait till the job's.
Well, we've got.
I did talk to Irene.
Can I ask about it, remember?
She's not, she likes her position that she's at. And Jessica wasn't, and she was happened to come in the office when I was talking to her, but she's taking care of her grandbaby and things, so I have never got a chance to talk to her.
All right, hold on, Jessica, you want to speak,
You just said that you've had many people reach out to you. Who have you reached out that has been under Luke to see if any of these statements were true or false? Department heads or anybody?
No.
So you're only taking the word of people that are disgruntled?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, no.
And in 7 days, you haven't had time to reach out to the frontline manager for 911?
Cause I'm in there.
7 days. And neither of you have had time to double check any facts that you have. 7 days. You made a change to literally the most critical component that you are responsible for as a county commission, because all the others are under elected officials. And in 7 days, you've had time to go to 911 one time and haven't had time to have a conversation with the frontline manager. Again, we all can see where your priorities lie.
Yeah.
And what's important. Because if it was important, you would be trying to understand what your job was and what is missing. And I said I wasn't going to speak today.
I was,
My thing is too, is that, so people, you say you got all these complaints about Luke. And that's why he lost his job. But again, that's not good enough cause. You go to Luke and try to get him to fix it. But again, if people are saying bad stuff, what's the saying? You know, if the tree's shaking, then you
I
know
didn't
it's
say that's why he
right.
lost his job.
I'm
They
sorry?
won't say she lost my job because there's no documentation. And I'm sure the attorney said, it's better for it to be a no cause termination because I'm an at-will employee versus if you give a disciplinary cause that has no documentation or backing because you will open yourself up to litigation.
Yep.
I've been the commission representative in wrongful termination litigation before. I know what's happening.
My hubby does his work.
And you all are playing this like we're
Just because his attitude's difficult, that, you know, maybe he's doing something right. That's why people are complaining. Because it seems to be like, I mean, around this country now, you've got people, law enforcement doing their job, immigration doing their job. What's everybody done? They're pissed off at immigration. Why? Because they're doing their job. So if people were pissed off at Luke, must be doing his job.
I could say the same thing now, that people are pissed off at me because I did my job, so.
You did your job. You did your job by firing a man. That's not doing your job. Doing your job would have been going and having a meeting publicly and finding out what the complaints were, how many complaints there were. Because if you had two people, if you spoke to two people, you say you have all these people. Okay, we'll provide that proof. Provide that proof of people. He deserves to have that proof.
Yeah.
Okay, Chastity, you want to,
So you were asked if you already had someone in mind to take over 911. We have heard that you have personally went and asked Jordan Hayes to come back to 911.
Who? I have not even asked, I don't even know Jordan Hayes. No, seriously, who?
Jordan Hayes.
Jordan Hayes.
Do you not know who that is?
Yeah, I know who it is.
What?
Yeah, I know who it is. I have not talked to Jordan Hayes. But I have not talked to Jordan Hayes and anybody. Actually, I've been told the opposite.
Because I'm saying, I mean, if you personally don't have someone in mind, I mean, you really should be posting the job and interviewing people.
Yeah.
I would like to speak.
we haven't posted the job,
If you
and
could
I,
just give me
yeah,
an opportunity to speak. So I can't speak on all this, but what I can speak on, the job will be posted.
Thank you for some clarity with that.
My background is in HR. That's where I came from. So we will follow basically what we need to follow as far as job postings. It'll remain up for 2 weeks. Big shoes to fill, I'm not gonna lie. So I am actually taking some time to research to understand what needs to be posted.
Yeah.
Okay, in all honesty, I'm not aware of anybody being pushed into the role or put into the role. So those are not true. I have no reason to lie to this group about anything, okay?
Now, is it being posted as the dual position like Luke had as
Yes, ma'am.
911 and
That's my
OEM?
understanding of how it's been posted.
We'll see who applies.
Again,
then
I'm
we'll
putting
know.
it together. But
Because
just,
I'm just trying to understand.
and I'm just trying to be transparent. There's a lot of stuff coming up here to the front of this room right now, and I get it. Okay, but everybody's upset and frustrated. A lot of these things you're saying, I've never even heard anything about, like people being appointed and pushed into roles. That's not true. I'm gonna do what's right. I'll be honest with you. I can speak on that, because that's gonna be my responsibility to get that job posted, and we're working on it. It's just that I don't know. He did a lot of things. He was covering things with me as county administrator, so I'm pulling this information together to post it. And it will be posted. It will be available on Indeed. It will be available on the courthouse website. Yes.
With that being said, who, are you guys gonna have a panel? Like, who is gonna have the final say? Is it gonna be the three of them?
So I don't want to speak on your behalf.
you're going to speak before.
I'm just going to say what my understanding would be. So I would ask that you would be involved. You all, now, if you are interviewing for it, that's a different story, okay? But I would ask that people that work at the 911 center that's been involved will have some sort of meeting with the candidates or sit in, okay? Because a lot of times, and Luke will know this, a lot of times we'll interview people for positions like maintenance, and then they'll interview the last few, or whatever it might be, or they'll sit in as a panel. But because I don't know the job as well, my recommendation to them, and I can't speak for them, but I can tell you my recommendation would be that people that do the job or work in the area would be involved.
And then
Just my understanding.
other part of this too, I would recommend that the 911 advisory board also be involved. Along with the sheriff, a couple other people's input along with it. To answer his question, the reason why I hadn't gone up to 911 up till the time I went to see Eileen is because I didn't want to interfere with anything that the sheriff was doing and walking up there. So that's why I didn't go right away up there to them. And it was afterwards when I went out, so.
You wanna post the job and be responsible for the person, but you didn't wanna interfere with the sheriff learning it, even though you're gonna be the one who has to fill the job.
Yeah.
Going by his opinion,
Do you think that there was that about you didn't know the difference between a call taker and a dispatcher?
I just want transparency and understanding.
Perfectly understand. I'm being as transparent as I possibly can. So,
So
and-
that's why
but
brought
I
that
do
forward to you guys,
feel,
because I just want transparency and understanding, and we already have a stressful enough job as it is, and then you throw us losing our boss at the drop of a dime in the mix, and then we are left wondering, are we next? And the uncertainty of our own careers and all of this in the mix, and like who's coming in next, and you know, like he said that he hasn't been up there too, because he doesn't want to mix in with what Joel was doing, but just coming up and having a simple conversation would ease our minds a ton about what your intentions are with our center and reassuring us that, hey, your jobs are safe, like your jobs aren't on the line. Just a simple conversation with us would have made our stress go down just a little bit.
well, I was having that conversation with Eileen and I'll admit I probably should have been up there more. After I had that conversation with Eileen, and felt put in a very uncomfortable position, and I feel like it put Eileen in a very uncomfortable position. I didn't want to put anybody in that position again. And
But you
that's
were only there
really the
once.
reason I have one.
You were only there once.
I was only there once, yes. And like I said, I was there to talk to Eileen and then. I kind of felt like too, that somebody knew I was up there and they showed up. So, I just wanted to. I'll just say that
I
to the
would
best
like
of my
to
knowledge.
Just defend that, cause Sandy Green did call me way before you got there to say he was coming with Roger.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was,
So
just
it's
to
all about
clarify
you.
that, be transparent. I don't
Okay.
think he got a call and came. He was, I can show you a text message from saying, actually it might have been a call there. I don't think that was set up.
But anyway, but I did relay to Eileen that, to the best of my knowledge, there is nobody else that job's on the line. And, that's,
And
that's where we're at with that.
Right? You don't have to worry about it tomorrow when you wake up maybe.
Let's say
you all do.
They changed their mind, yeah.
Please, you all do your job and you do a great job and please continue doing that job.
Yes.
But I have been asked that question by other people down here around the courthouse. Is my job safe? I've been asked that. And my thing is, I'm not voting to lose any of our people because we got some good people. We got some very good people. And I know what 911 was, I know the debt and I know some of the issues 11 years ago. And I didn't know much about it, but
I don't know what it
I'll
was
tell
too, I
you
worked
right
it, and
now,
I don't wanna
I've
work it
seen-
again.
I've seen where it came, what it's come to, and you got my support 110%. And I mean that. But I would like to see a committee set up. I don't feel, and this is my feelings only, I don't feel that we should be, the three of us should be involved in hiring a director, because I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's not
It's-
fair.
Huh? I don't think it's fair
Well,
either,
fair, no.
because I honestly.
They're not fair. They're not.
So I think what we need to do if wait till, Mr. Arbogast, see what his decisions is, and maybe we need to turn this over to a committee.
Yes.
Maybe that'd be the best way to go, and let them, I know it's gotta be approved by the commission, I understand that. But maybe that's something we need to look at, cause that letter that I read today, ask for a committee to oversee some of the things in the county. I mean, I'm good with that. I am good with that, and I think some from 911 ought to be on here. I'd like to see some of the squads represented. I would love to see some of the squads represented, because they're the ones, that and the sheriff's department is the two main people that deals with these people. They are the ones. And I would like to see them be involved.
Now, Roger, honestly,
Yeah.
if they could fire you, I'm sure you'd be.
Oh, I'd have
Oh, you'd
been
been going yesterday.
I'd have been going in August when I opposed the chase car. I'll
Okay.
be honest with you.
They have opposed him on everything for the last 6, 7, 8 months. He's come home complaining. Those two have tackled up against him on everything.
Yeah.
And I know that is a fact.
But being young and trying to compete with older people, you think you're more experienced because he's young, but he's smart, but oh, he might be a little smarter than me, so I gotta keep ahead, you know?
I have no doubt Luke's smarter than me, but that had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
And
Well,
what
yeah,
did?
one thing, just say one thing that you
And
did
then,
the
then
recent one.
you want the county to get sued whenever I say.
Sue your ass and sue this guy. I know, okay, but it's just wrong. You're dirty.
You're dirty.
Your whole damn thing is dirty and rotten, and whoever voted you in, made a hell of a mistake. But what do you have to choose from? And if you could get rid of Roger, Roger'd be gone. I know, I'm gonna shut up, but that's the truth. You're dirty. It's all about who you know. That's who's gonna get it. Now we're gonna be sneaking around and you get the sheriff. It's all politics. You're dirty, rotten politics. But that's okay. And I'm sure he's gonna go and get a better job than you could offer to start with, because who would wanna work with nine people like that? And those ladies think their jobs are safe, they better walk out because they're not safe. And that's exactly what I would do to you. I would, every damn one of them or half of them, walk out and see how you run the damn place. What are you gonna have, the damn sheriff's department over there running it?
Please don't, because I'm concerned.
No, I would do it.
Luke does not want that because.
I know, I know.
Everyone who's reached out to me,
We can't do that to our.
I've said that is the last.
Appreciate that.
Luke doesn't want that for him. He wants his employees to succeed.
Right.
Because he's a good man.
We would not do that.
But you might as well drop this right now, I'm saying, because they got their minds made up and it's done, it's over, and they're dirty, it's dirty.
Well, I tell you what, before you leave, I tell you what we need to do. And I'm gonna ask Lauren if she'll put this on the agenda for the 10th, our next commission. We need to come up with some way then to handle this issue, because this is definitely an issue.
Damn right it is.
It is. So, we're gonna address that on the 10th of February. And, we'll go from there. I don't know how much the sheriff is willing to do. He's got enough on his plate, but, we'll see.
We'll continue to help them out with whatever.
I know. I appreciate that.
Well, and genuinely, we are one of, at least, we're one of the only ones that get involved in the operation with 911 because we are one of their biggest customers.
Yeah,
Right? And is that, you guys know,
you're in the fire departments and the squads. You're
So-
100% right.
I would appreciate the opportunity for input. And that's, again, that's why I come here today, is because I'd like to know what's going on as much as they want to. And I feel like, I mean, and again, this is just me talking, but it was dropped in our laps. And then I have to go up there because somebody's gotta go, and again, I'm not pointing fingers, but somebody has to go up there. And I get phone call to go up there and I don't even know what to tell them because all I know is, well, we're in charge. Well, what? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But as far as moving forward, I would appreciate the opportunity to be involved. And I think that you've got people back there that the fire departments need to be involved. We're the people that's having to deal with it.
Exactly.
And I don't know, I mean, that would all have to be approved by the commission in order to do it that way. But, I don't know what you're gonna do with this other situation you got, but as far as for me, I just wanted to know what my responsibilities was going to be. for my agency and where we stood, and that was my question.
Well, I'm
But
going
this
to,
other stuff, there's got to be some changes made, irregardless of what was done, and again, I'm not making judgment on any of that, but, to me, to turn around and do the exact same thing over again, you're just setting up the next person for failure.
Exactly.
And when the next person fails, then I'm right back in a cluster. The fire and EMS is in a mess. These guys don't know what's going on. So and Luke, no offense to you intended by this at all, but like, now is the opportunity to make improvements so that you don't end up in this situation again in 6 months. You can do with that information what you want, but.
well, I agree with what you're saying. So I know I've been up at 911 and talked to the ladies, the dispatchers, 3 times. I think I've been in there. I didn't go on Wednesday because I was devastated with all the calls. I was on the phone about all day Wednesday. But anyway, I tried to go in, and the thing I've told every one of them, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I can't tell them how to do their job, because I don't know how to do it. You know, they tell me how they do their job, and I respect them, and I greatly, greatly appreciate them. And I think I'm speaking on 99.9% of the citizens of Mineral County. Please stay where you are. We appreciate what you do.
Yes.
And I think you're great.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, I come in on the tail end of this, but an at-will employee is an at-will employee. And I'm not saying it's a good thing that anybody loses their job, but so far, just today, in a week's time, there's been more opportunities afforded to Luke McKenzie than anybody that he fired.
That's not true.
I believe I have the floor, so.
Now, let's be respectful. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I am being respectful.
Okay, I'll just let you know.
I could be very disrespectful if I wanted
You
to
won't be in here.
So just like you, just now, like
You will not be.
whoever that lady was,
Yeah.
I am not being disrespectful.
She was leaving. You will be respectable in here. And if you get mad at me over that, I'm sorry, but just be respectful. You're going to speak your piece. You have that right, and I want you to do that. We're listening.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, there's been more opportunity afforded to Luke about him losing his job than any other county employee. Right? You know for a fact that I came to you about somebody else. When presented information about not following their own policy, what happened? Nothing. Right? So it's all fun and games until it happens to you directly or someone involved with your family. Now all of a sudden it's an emergency.
I
So
didn't bring this in emergency.
I know that you were up there recruiting people to come here today, right? So
Well, you're wrong. I was up there asking, correct me if I'm wrong, Eileen, Chastity.
I was directed to be here by my new boss.
Okay, I went up there and asked you who all was gonna come today. Did I not?
I was not asked to come by
No.
anybody.
I wasn't recruiting nobody to come. Did I not ask you if there's anything that I can do, which you know your job's better than I do, to please let me know and I'll try to help you?
Yes.
Did I do that?
Yes.
that's why go back a year ago, that's why there needs to be a county grievance policy, right? To where there's a board of independent people that look at the information that is presented to them.
Won't argue that.
So
That's,
to
I'm not
echo,
arguing that either.
to echo what the captain has said,
Yeah.
right? That's one of the things that the county needs to implement.
I won't argue.
That would,
You're
that-
right.
if you had an independent board, that people that could review termination of county employees, that would probably alleviate a lot of this stuff.
Would
And
help.
we wouldn't be here.
Definitely help. I agree.
So are you gonna have a discussion about the termination of Luke come February 10th?
I don't know what else
It
went
can be
consistent.
done.
I'm not sure if you know, but my pap's only one vote, these two.
Well, what did you discover to put on the agenda?
Put on there about this. I don't know what all's gonna be done, was my comment.
Okay, but can you be more specific on this? When you say this, what other things talking about?
Maybe setting up a committee, the hire process.
Okay, okay. That's all I have to ask.
Maybe we can get some people on it. I'd like to get a feel of how many people we'd like to have. Rod, JJ, Joel.
I'd like, I mean, no offense.
I think
to
it
you
ought to
guys,
be-
I've already been working on it, and I'd like, if you want somebody here February 10th, I'll be here February 10th with your approval.
And I think we ought to have I think we ought to be mainly, not necessarily all, made up of the people that deals with these ladies, with the 911 center. And I'm talking about fire companies, EMS squads, and sheriff's department. That's who I'm referring to. They deal the most with them.
Advisory board.
Mr. President, you have the 911 advisory board you can tackle with. And
I
then
would
if
got the
Luke's on it,
911 advisory board, but I don't think this should fall into that. My opinion, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm just saying, you already have the standing.
We got a standing committee. I
all
know we got a 911 advisory.
It's already got all the representatives,
We do,
people represented on it.
we do.
Just have to remove me as the commissioner off of the board.
But,
And then I would recommend put somebody from the city of Kaiser on that board as well.
Why the city of Kaiser?
They're get them a lot of the calls, 911 calls.
I don't care. I'm in the northern end of the county. I think I should have a vote, or anybody else. What about Elk Garden? They should have a vote. You should have at least one community member, and it doesn't have to be from Kaiser, just because you got the majority of the population.
Basically on 911 calls is what I was basing it off of.
we are gonna address this on the 10th, okay? I'm gonna be a little bit like Judge Judy. It's past my lunchtime. So, we're gonna address this on February 10th. Okay? Is that all right with everybody?
Do you want proposals or what? Like you want, like if I say think 5 members, like 1 from fire, 1 from EMS, 1 from law enforcement, 1 from the 911 committee, and 1 from the community at large. You want proposals? Is that what you're looking for?
That's one of the things I'd like to see.
Okay.
I don't wanna pick them. I'll be honest with you. I don't want no parts of picking
That
them.
very definition is the 911 advisory committee.
Yeah.
They even have a member at large, our
Who's on the
EMS.
911 advisory committee?
Roger,
Y'all was on
Mom, I just went,
Cole Harder, Cole Steve Shipley.
So.
and then
Didn't
remember,
that just get started again there, Luke? Didn't you just restart that because they had been in like recess for an extended period of time?
Yeah, we were just getting those members reappointed to start reviewing 911 policies as things needed to improve,
That's
making
honestly,
progress.
that's along the lines of what my thoughts is that I have been voicing is we have a 911 advisory board that has absolutely no authority to do anything, but those are the people that should be on your committee, in my opinion.
Should be, yes.
Solely, that's just my opinion, but they need to be given some kind of authority by county statute that says this is what they're allowed to do. And again, nothing against Luke or any other. I've worked with 6 or 7 OES directors, like I don't even know how many OES directors. And everybody disagrees with something all of them do, but at least you would have a board in place that if the decision initially starts with him but the person making the complaint has somebody to complain to. And everybody knew what that process was. And again, I think that goes, I'm not talking about for county employees, I'm talking about for 911 and emergency services specifically because they have such a wide customer base that they're dealing with all the responders, they're dealing with fire, law, EMS, they're dealing with state representatives, they're dealing with every citizen in this county has the opportunity at some point in their time, they're gonna need 911. And I think that that should be set up to where you have something in place to be able to help the director, whoever that would be. And again, I feel like personally that should be 2 positions, but again, I'm not an expert. I defer to what you guys think, but at least to be able to assist that director and if there's a process in place and not the way it used to be or the way it has been in the past where just everybody could walk in and gripe and complain and blow up and it became a complete headache for the OES director or whoever was in charge of it. That there should be a process in place and you follow the process, and when the process is over, it's over. To me, is how it should be done. And again, I'll defer to you guys, but that's my theory, my feelings on it.
Yes, Kurt.
I have a question. I know other counties do deputy directors. Does Mineral County have any deputy directors 911?
No.
Because I know some of the counties that I think have the dual role. And you'd have to check me, but from what I've seen is they have, if they have one person in both roles, then they have two deputies underneath of them. Usually from just somebody that moves up to experience. I don't know if you want that, but then you have two people and then you have somebody that is just still over those two, but you're not setting up, like JJ said, one person to handle.
So like how our center works, like we had Luke as our director in OES, and then we had Eileen and Rachel in the OES doing their parts over there, and then we had Jess as our operations manager. And then like myself as a training or a CAD admin that did backside of CAD work and QA as quality assurance. And then we have another person that does training and QA, and then yeah, so that way dispatchers were able to still kind of level up and further their careers a little bit. And
that's what some of these, I mean, I've just been looking because, at some point in time, someone's gonna ask me and I need to have an intelligent answer. A lot of times they just promote somebody from within, instead of adding another entire salary, they promote somebody within. That way they can continue to move up. It gives an employee something to strive for, something to look for, something to move up to. But with that responsibility to where you're not dumping it on the sheriff's department, these guys, they'll do anything you want. I mean, they always have, the deputies have, but they can only do so much.
Yeah, this has really never come up for discussion in the past 11 years that I've been here, and that I can recall anyway. But I think one of the reasons it hasn't come up lately, is because he's got a great team under him. You couldn't ask for better people. You couldn't ask for better trained people. We really don't need them until something like this happens. That wouldn't have been needed. So. Does anybody else want to speak? If not, we're going to go to accounts payable. And, this will be addressed on the 10th. So. Let everybody know. I want to thank everybody that spoke. I want to thank the people that come on by Zoom. And, I hope this get resolved, quickly and wisely. Now, I do want to say one thing before anybody leaves. I thought about this a minute ago and I thought, I want to personally apologize to Candace. She's new here, but she's had to sit through all this. And I'm sorry for all this. I just want you to know, I apologize to you for having to deal with this. But thank you for what you do.
this is everybody.
You guys.
Yeah. On the shirt.
This is the part. Various things. Yeah, this.
In combination with the water meter, there's a power bill, they want to full that.
Okay.
When something comes in by mail, and you want there, yeah, it's still keep, it's not so short. What has the national answer? This. I'll be honest, I got Christmas condition last year. And
You know what?
I have Christmas conditions from last year.
Oh, our mail is terrible.
I'm convinced it was stuck somewhere in the machine, and then it just doesn't roll it out. And it has some of our house started, he wants to.
Chris was 1 year getting something to the mail. He got it a year later after sent it. And I got a phone call yesterday pertaining to a job. That the guy asked me, he said, did they get their check? And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know. He said, would you check on me? We wrote it out in October. And here it is, January for February, and they haven't got a check. It's crazy.
If you want to send, you almost have to send a FedEx, yes, courier to get it.
There for a long time, we were taking stuff to Maysville, because it goes through Virginia, and don't go through Baltimore.
I don't know that any of it's.
Well, they was doing a lot better, I think, through Virginia.
Pittsburgh's a little bit better than Baltimore, but Dallas is better than Pittsburgh, yeah.
Dr. Jason.
Something. I can either look back. So what are these? Anyways, they go on to, they're gonna get to it anyway.
So I was checking it.
So about
Oh, December.
yeah.
So we're
We just got the money for state,
amount.
and as soon as we get a check from state, I have 3 day turnaround to get that check. So the one we just approved at the January 13th meeting, I'm still waiting on the check from the state.
Sure.
Purchase. Around 290, the one we just approved is 460.
Yeah.
Yeah, one receiving it, the other 3 day turnaround.
X-ray machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fucked that, you can ride. I don't want you rolling.
I don't know, this is.
I'm sorry.
This is from 3 years back. But I don't know, so I think I'm a bit towards the end of the year.
Did you get a copy of
Remember the
that?
director? Yes, I asked. Thank you.
I don't know if he's gonna be here or not, I don't know.
That's really, that's. That's right. The court from 19,000, whatever, and not all of this value. I think they left it open and they can charge them. Or just for the revenue file or put high. I haven't been.
I hear most of the Approve the account payable.
Second.
I'll approve that also. So if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll do that. I want to thank everybody on Zoom today for being there in the comments. And, thank you very much and be safe in your travels.